Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L, and right now I'm coming in with a video on Dr. Stone. This time specifically, it's a comparison video telling you about the differences between Dr. Stone Episode 1 and Chapters 1 and 2 of the Dr. Stone manga. Are you ready for some post-apocalyptic trivia? I sure am, but I'm not really sure you can consider this post-apocalyptic trivia. Episode 1 was really faithful, and the stuff that was dropped was very minor. What you mostly lost out on in the adaptation was mostly very small context, and honestly, it ain't gonna change your viewing experience in any particular way. So with that out of the way, let's just jump into it. The first change is an interesting one that revolves around Yuzuriha. There was some skipped dialogue where Yuzuriha joked that Taiju was about to confess his love for her. This was just a nice genre-savvy joke that just added some levity to the situation and just made the girl a little bit more adorable. The next change that I personally was very sad about was during the montage of all the people being turned into stone. The anime didn't show the President of the United States. That's a wasted opportunity right there, man. Like the guy wanted to do so much, and we lost out on that. Anyway, the next minor change was on this girl that was calling out for her parents. In the anime, it was shown that she also had a little dog. But in the manga, this was actually two girls. One that was crying out for her parents and the other that had the dog. So what's interesting about this change is that the anime streamlined these two girls into one. Originally, the girl with the dog's panel was right above the panel of the feral dogs. The implication being pets went feral after humans stopped being a thing. That's what that page was trying to show. In the anime, the distance between the shot of the puppy and the shot of the wild dogs is greater, such that you kinda lose that immediacy. But the anime makes up for it by showing the feral dogs with a collar. So this one is probably my favorite change because of how they maintained the original idea being conveyed while also streamlining just, well, the girls, right? It was pretty neat. That's adaptation done well right there. The next change worth pointing out is that Taiju actually spotted Tsukasa first, a little bit before he found Yuzuriha. The anime has Taiju finding Tsukasa much later. This isn't a big change, but for manga readers, it gave a hint as to who was going to end up being revived first between the two. The next series of changes revolve around some missing context, this time spatial context. Specifically, the manga shows us where Taiju was relative to Senku when they were petrified, and it also showed us where the lab was relative to this treehouse. What the anime did is that they just had Senku talking for that moment where he was explaining where he found Taiju. They didn't really show us that image, and then for the lab they just showed us Senku working on stuff at a slightly different angle that obscures the location of the treehouse. Now I just want to add, the anime does give you clues on the location of the treehouse relative to the lab, but you gotta be real eagle-eyed to be able to catch the very small moments when they give you that glimpse. Big point here though is that the manga was much more straightforward about it. Looking at those changes, it just seems like the anime was trying to save time and not having to draw new backgrounds for what was going to be really one panel worth of content. The next change comes in during the dialogue-less montage, and this one revolves around why Taiju got a shave. Now you might be thinking like, oh yeah, you know, he just thought he was too scruffy, something like that, but in actuality, the reason was simply that Taiju was concerned about whether or not Yuzuriha would like the beard. He was feeling really self-conscious about it, and then Senku added in that without the beard they'd probably be a little bit more hygienic. To each his own. The final thing I want to share with you isn't really a change, but more of an add-on to the official manga. After Senku makes the quip about being Adam and Eve, they have this little bonus exchange at the end of chapter 1, where Taiju just kinda questions him on being Eve. Man, all I can tell you is that I really hope Taiju never stops being Taiju. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Those are the big changes that I spotted. And I say big changes, but these changes are really small. But hey, now you know. Now you're armed with trivia so that you can make your way into the vast wilds of the internet and impress some people, maybe, if that's what you like to do. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for watching. We're going to call it there. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, I hope you have an absolutely great day.